Hey North Chamber members, it's Brett Finley. It's the last business day of the month, which means it's time for another Arrow newsletter. Here in the month of June, we had a really busy and productive month. We had our State of Business event in Bexar County, a fireside chat with Judge Peter Sakai. We talked about a ton of topics and goals that the judge continues to have his hard work here for the residents in Bexar County. We touched on international business trade relations with a recent trip over to Japan. We talked about the continued economic development and growth with the South Texas Diamond Initiative, some nearshoring trade efforts with Mexico, advanced manufacturing programs, Texas Fame and Texas Fast. Also talked about the relations with the San Antonio Spurs. Bexar County obviously is the existing landlord, downtown arena developments, the whole thing. If you do not have a chance to attend or have yet to take a look at it online, we do have the link to the stream in the chat. We had several member events this month at the North Chamber. Marcy Westcott joined us at a small business outreach luncheon hosted by Big Brothers and Big Sisters. We had a Top Golf membership mixer. We joined District 9 City Councilman John Courage and some of the residents in District 9, along with our Economic Development Council at Port San Antonio, where Jim Perschbach and team hosted them for a tour. JCB, we connected local suppliers in the area for a JCB roundtable here at the North Chamber offices. We also had a Young Professionals mixer at Walk-Ons, and then a Chairman's Council program hosted by Marmon Mock with special guest Eric Walsh. On the advocacy front this month, the North Chamber provided some general support for some recommended changes for watering rules that SAWS was recommending to City Council for consideration. We did push back though slightly on updates to the drip irrigation system, as well as an implementation for a new plan review process for new irrigation systems, both spray and drip irrigation. We're grateful that SAWS heard the North Chamber loud and clear. They adopted many of our recommended changes, and we're going to continue to advocate for our business members with our public utilities and be mindful of what those unintended consequences may be in the future. On the workforce development front, our Workforce Council hosted its third roundtable series this month, led by our Workforce Council Chair, Chris Corso. Thank you to Dr. Sean Micah and Deb Caldwell of Northeast ISD for graciously hosting us at a CTE campus of theirs, where we brought in area HR directors as well as CTE instructors, a couple of superintendents, and those in the public and private space to get together to, again, just have a roundtable discussion to identify existing needs and challenges in the community and how we can all better communicate and connect to make sure that labor is the issues associated with it can continue to be addressed in our community moving forward. Our last topic this month is our leadership development programs. We're about halfway through the year for those programs. Thank you to Fort Sam and Catholic Life for hosting our leadership lab. We had retired United States Air Force Brigadier General Rick Murphy provide a really insightful presentation on leadership. Our Innovative Leadership series this month had their third session hosted at Geekdom, where we had Luis Martinez with the Capital Factory give a great presentation and insight into design thinking. And finally this month, our Ladies Who Brunch series had its second quarter meeting hosted by April Ancira. We had a sold out crowd at Mi Familia. Thank you to April for sharing her impactful story on how to be a more aspiring leader in this community and really giving back to the community that she loves. And that concludes your June Arrow newsletter. Be sure to check out a podcast with Eddie Aldrete, the Beyond the Bite podcast. Myself and our chairman of the board this year, Joe Irizarry, had a really great conversation with Eddie. We shared a lot of our goals and what our vision is for the chamber and who we want to be moving forward. Be sure to take a look out on that on July 2nd when it drops.